Hi, I'm Julian Stodd, and today I'm thinking about tone of voice in learning. Just looking at the bookshelf here, I can see that the books are written for all sorts of different audiences. Some are written for children, some for adults, some are academic books, some are fiction, entertainment, all sorts of different genres, different audiences and different tones of voice. So varying the tone of voice is important when we're writing. It's just as true in learning design. We need to think about the context of the learning, and we need to think about the everyday reality of the audience that we're writing for. Just look at what you see on television. You see some factual programs, some comedies. Different channels have different flavours, different feelings about them. Some quite formal, some quite arty. So we tend to naturally adopt and group these tones of voice into different channels. And that's something we have to keep in mind when we're writing, when we're doing our own learning design. As we start looking at social learning or mobile learning, we need to actively curate which tone of voice we're going to use. For mobile, we want our interventions to be very short, very punchy. So they need to have a very efficient tone of voice. There mustn't be all sorts of context being said. It needs to be direct, relevant, something you can act upon straight away. Social learning is much more reflective. The engagement comes in the deep conversations that we're able to have and the way we're able to do that within community. So a tone of voice can be a bit more elaborate, it can take more time, but it also needs to not be didactic. It can't be the teacher speaking down at you. It needs to be the tone of voice of someone that stood next to you. This is about a conversation, it's not about a lecture. So keep that notion of curating our tone of voice. So whenever we're looking at a piece of learning design, we're not just thinking about the graphic design or the design of the assessment we're going to use. We're not just thinking about the technology. One of the things we actively think about is what tone of voice are we going to use? How are we going to use that to greatest effect within the learning? You can read more about this and other ideas on my blog, which is julianstodd.wordpress.com. And if you have any thoughts on the subject, then do drop me a line. Thank you.